Let's move on top here, and I'm going to create a variable here, and this is going to be the instance of our text field, which is stripe part. So what we need to do is to say import stripe, and once we have imported it, we can access our stripe text field that collects the card information. So I'm going to call my variable payment card text field, and this is going to be equals to stp payment card text field, and we're going to instantiate this. And once we instantiate it, what we are going to do is to add it to our view that we have. So we are going to do this as soon as our view is loaded. So I'm going to say view dot add subview, and our subview is going to be our payment card text field. Now we have added the subview, but our payment card text field doesn't know where exactly in our view it's going to be. So let's just reopen it again. So we have all this area here we have added, but we didn't tell it where we want it to be. So we want it somewhere here to stick under our buttons. And to do this, we're going to add auto layout constraints, but since our view is not in the storyboard, we cannot do it by clicking here and there. We're going to add the auto layout constraints in code. So I'm going to access my view here, and then we're going to add constraint, and we're going to add ns layout constraint. If you hit enter and open parentheses, the item we are going to add is the payment card text field. The attribute is going to be, so we are going to add a top constraint. Let me just go here. So imagine we will put our text field here. So we want to add a top constraint, left and right. So we have 3 constraints. So then our text field knows where it's going to be on the runtime. So the first one is going to be the top constraint. So you just can click dot top, related by, and here we are going to say dot equals, and then we need to say to which item we want to relate this. And I want to relate this to my done button outlet, since we have created an outlet for that. So it will check where the done button is and get some space underneath. Then the attribute here is going to be of our done button. So we want to have some space from our done button bottom anchor. And then the multiplier here, we are going to put 1, and constant, we are going to put 30. So I want it to be a constraint between the top of my text field and the bottom of my done button. And the distance I want to be is 30. So this is basically in English what we just wrote here. Then we will have to add another 2 constraints, and it's going to be the left and the right ones. So I can say view dot add constraint, and this is going to be again ns layout constraint. And the item we are going to add now is again our payment text field. The attribute is going to be the left side, which is called thrilling. So we say dot thrilling, related by, and this is going to be equals, and then we say what we want to equal to relate this to, and this time we want to relate it to the view, because there is no other items here to relate it. So it will be our view here. So we'll just say view, and the attribute here we are going to put of our view, and this is going to be again the thrilling. So actually this is the leading, this is the thrilling, if I'm not mistaken. The thrilling is on the right side. So our view's thrilling will be connected to the thrilling of our text field. And then the multiplier is going to be 1, and the constant is going to be minus 20. Yeah, the trilling is on the right side. So the reason minus 20 is we want to be 20 points before our views trilling border here. And if I copy this, I can paste it here, and this time instead of minus 20 we want to put 20, because I want it to be 20 points away from my border. And instead of trilling, I'm going to say leading, and here also leading. And this should add our auto layout constraints. So let's just run and see if it works. So I'll just go to basket, checkout, payment card, and there is nothing here. So let's see what's wrong. We have added to our view did load. Okay, I didn't authorize this this constraint, so this is one thing we forget. So say payment card text field dot translates auto resize masking constraints is equals to false. And if I run now, this should be okay. Let's go to basket, checkout, payment options. And now we have our view, which is 20 points on the left side, 20 on the right, and 30 points under our button. And I can click and add any text here. I won't. So our text field here is set. In our next lecture, we are going to write how we make our done button dynamically active or inactive depending what we have in our text field.